Collectors, it is about that time again. I am sitting here with a bunch of sports cards in front of me, about ready to pack them up and send them to SGC. I've actually got two submissions I'm going to be putting in right now, a 29 card football submission and a 14 card mixed sports submission. Right now, SGC is actually running a $15 all football special, which is pretty cool. And so I've got all my football separated over there, and then I've got some UFC, non-sports, basketball, baseball, and at 14 cards, I believe I'm hitting the $22 level on that one right there. But today, what I want to do is actually do the deepest dive into my pre-grades that I've done to date. Now, all these cards have been prepped. Shiny cards have been wiped down. I actually removed some wax off of one or two of the vintage cards, buffed that out. So I'm not going to be actually prepping the cards in front of you. But I've got my pre-grades written down, and I've taken some, hopefully, pretty high quality pictures that I'll be able to add into this video and really dive deep and show you some of the things that I look for when I pre-grade my cards that SGC will probably catch, may not catch, but as we just kind of see how they deem those flaws to affect the grade, we'll get to see that in a reveal video in the future. But right now, again, what we've got in front of me, and I went super freaking fancy this time. I got the paper taped together and cut out for my pre-grade list. But you can see it there. Football cards right here. The other cards slightly out of view. We'll get to them in a little bit. But I'm going to move kind of quick, as thoroughly as I can, if that makes sense. So hopefully we've got good lighting, good camera settings behind me. You get a decent view of the cards. We'll add some good pictures in there as well. And we will start with a 2018 Panini XR Lamar Jackson rookie card. Now that is numbered out of 99. Very nice card. Tiny corner fleck, lower left at least. So I've got this one pegged at a 9. Next card, this one we've actually seen before, and that's the Trevor Lawrence rookie pink camo mosaic. This one came back as a 7, and my buddy, the owner of this card, actually asked me to crack it and resub. I've actually got that filmed, separate film, you can see that, but what I actually found on the back was a fairly significant indent along the surface. So I showed that to him. He still confirmed he wanted it cracked out of the case and kind of asked, hoping for a 7.5 bump. But unless SGC really misses that one, I still peg it at a 7. Next card is a stunning 93 Ultra Michael Strahan rookie card. It is fantastic. I mean, the gloss is phenomenal. Just kind of little details that you're not going to see in any type of photo or video that I give you. But man, when this card was in my hands, I was looking at it. It's just gorgeous. So I got it at a 9.5. I don't use magnification. I've said it before. I'll say it many more times. But so I'm always hesitant to actually claim 10s, but I'm going to say 9.5 on that one. Now, next one up is a really interesting one, and I do have some good pictures of this one. But this is that was a 97 Pinnacle Zenith Z-Team Mirror Gold, if I'm not mistaken. I think I said, yeah, so it says it's actually a Mirror Gold Emmett Smith. And this card, I would not be surprised if it comes back anywhere between a 5 and a 9.5. The card, I believe, is nearly perfect, but the peel is currently on it, and my friend asked that I keep it on. Now, my personal opinion is to peel the card if you're going to send it in for grading. If you're going to keep it in your collection, leave it on, but he's going to leave it on and send it for grading. I think there's scuffs on the peel. I think I saw a bubble or two. And so again, I think that I just put an 8. I said an 8. I kind of split the middle, but I really wouldn't be surprised if this comes back quite a bit lower. I don't think it'll come back higher than an 8, but maybe he gets lucky. But again, I just think that the grading companies, it's not just SGC, but I think all of them will really ding the surface of the peel, even though that doesn't make any sense to me. But that's that one. We'll see what happens. All right, next up, we have 2 Trevor Lawrence optic silver hollows. Now, one of them was cracked out of a PSA 8 case this morning. The other one was cracked out of an SGC 8 case this morning. The SGC 8 was previously an SGC 8.5. So if you're keeping track, that's the third time that I think it's this one, that this one is being sent in to SGC. Now, I think that the 8.5 was as high as it's going to get. I think it's off-centered, and I think it has some upper corner issues. But my buddy said, send it in again. So the one I think is going to get an 8. The one that was in a PSA 8 case, I think, was actually nicer. I think it was more centered. I also think it may have had a little bit of upper corner issue, little fleck or something like that. So I think an 8.5 is going to be the highest we see there. So on the 2 optic hollow T-Laws, I've got an 8 and an 8.5. Again, see what happens. Next up, 2021 optic Justin Fields, and this is a green, what is this one? A green velocity prism. I'm not super up to speed with all the newer parallels. But this one is a pretty sharp card. I didn't really see any issue on this one. I don't believe, maybe a little corner. I said 9. As I'm looking at this again, I wouldn't be surprised if it's higher, but just to be a kind of conservative, I said 9. Now this Justin Fields is a red-yellow select red-yellow die cut. Which one is this one? Field level? I can't remember. Yeah, premier level. Again, those parallels I can't keep track of. But this one right here, and I should have a picture of it, I do see like an edge kind of chip on the top layer of the card. And I'm not sure if that, like, however the card is manufactured in, like, multiple layers, but I think that top, I don't know what it is, protective coating or prism coating or whatever the top is, I think it's got a little chip on it. And so I believe, yes, I'd said 8.5 on this one. Next up is an optic base Fields. This one was sharp. I couldn't see anything wrong with it. I said 9.5. Next up is a Herby Select rookie card. Is it the Silver Select or Select Certified Rookie? I can't even remember what it's a slate parallel or insert, whatever. But this one I said 9.5. Looked really good to me. I didn't see any issues on the surface, so I said 9.5 on that one. He sent in a couple of Pickett rookie cards. First up being the Mosaic Silver Hollow, I believe, or Silver Prism, sorry. I said a 9.5 on this one. I thought it was super clean. There may have been like one little line on the back of this one that would keep it from grading a 10, so I wouldn't have said like 9.5 or better. So I think that was just a straight 9.5. Next up, no, I'm sorry. That was the 9 right there, 9. Because of the back issue. Then this was the green prism. I said 9.5. So there is a green prism Kenny rookie card. I said 9.5 on that one. That one was gorgeous. This one was super sharp. Base 2020 Donruss Herby rookie card. I couldn't see any issues with this one. So I did, and it was one of the few, it wasn't the only one, no, but it's one of the few that I said 9.5 or better. So if that one came back at 10, I wouldn't be surprised. If it comes back lower than a 9.5, I would be surprised. Let's get this back in order the way they were. All right, next up. This is a pretty cool card right here. This is a Barry Sanders 1996 Ultra Pulsating insert, and it is absolutely razor sharp. These are some cards that he pulled as a kid, and he's taken care of them. They've been in protection. Now, the issue with this card that I've seen is the centering. And so I think, which bugs me to no end, that centering on borderless cards can really affect the grade and thus the price. But I do think that this one is going to get an 8.5 due to the centering. Next up, he sent in a couple of 95 Ultra Gold Medallion parallels. First one being the Brett Favre, and these are just so hard to grade with the foil edges and surfaces. I don't have a whole ton of experience, so my guess is fairly conservative. I think at an 8.5 on this Favre. I didn't really see any issues, but again, the foil edges just, they don't tend to be like razor sharp. They're just, tiny waves, and so under magnification, I don't know what SGC is going to see. So I said 8.5 on the Favre. Next up, same series, is the Sanders Barry, and I thought this was the best looking one of the three that were sending in. So I did give this one a 9. I couldn't see any issues. And again, sometimes you just look at the edges on these paper/foil product, these older ones, and some of them just they look like they got a cleaner cut. And that, I would say that this one got the best of the three. So I said 9 on that. And then the third one that we're sending in is the Derek Brooks rookie card. And this one, I think I have a photo to show, but I did actually see a kind of noticeable fleck on the lower edge on this one. And so this one I also said an 8.5, but they're three really good looking cards. All right, then we actually get to my cards. And I decided to send in my Optic base Lamar Jackson in preparation for the season. I'm kind of hoping that he has a good year, kind of bumps his prices again. This card was kind of through the roof back during his MVP season, and it's definitely come down. But I still think he's one of the best in the league, and he's just electrifying to watch. Okay, so this one, it's a great one. I said 9.5. I tried to be conservative. I didn't want to say better, but I just said straight 9.5 on that one. All right, this next one, one of Emmett Smith's second best rookie card. Now, I've sent in a bunch of the score update ones, and I get 8.5. It's like 8.5, 8.5, 8.5, 8.5. I think they may have been in some of my videos earlier as well, but I can't get a 9. But I took this card as partial payment / trade. I believe it's pack fresh, but at the same time, and I can't remember if it's front or back on this one, but I do have a picture that I can show. But I do believe there's a roller or print line, and so it's perfectly centered, razor sharp edges. But I'm hoping for a 9. I wouldn't be surprised at an 8.5, but I did put down a 9. I thought the severity, I guess, of that line wouldn't take it down lower than that, and everything else might pull it up. But we will see. All right, next up, I haven't graded a Peyton Manning card in a while, and so I've had this one lying around, and it's another aside. I don't hesitate to send cards in for grading in like kind of, crappy used top loaders, especially ones that have like tape and stuff on them. But here's what I would say: clean, brand new penny sleeves, but top loaders that you don't mind losing. So that's my personal philosophy. I know that PSA really pushes like send in the semi-rigids, the Ultra Pro ones, I believe they are, something like that. SGC is way more flexible. They kind of don't care. And again, I think most of them are getting thrown out anyways. So, kind of your regular top loaders are just fine. As long as they make them there safe. SGC, I haven't ever had any issues with what I actually send the card in. One more time though, clean, brand new penny sleeve for your cards. Use top loader just fine. Peyton Manning, 1998 absolute retail, and I said a 9 on this one. I'd love higher, but it's a die cut, and it's a die cut and borderless, so most likely I've missed something, and I said a 9. And then we get into a couple more cards of mine that I haven't graded them in a while. These cards. Now, I've sent in multiples of the cards I'm about to show you. They're some of my favorites. They're like in the heart of my PC, which is graded Hall of Fame rookie cards from like the 70s, 80s, and 90s. But I love the early SPs. Upper Deck SP, starting with 93. Of course, you've got Derek Jeter, of which I think I've only got one left in my PC. I sold a couple here recently. But 93 through 96 SP have some of my favorite players, especially in football. And with 93 with Jerome Bettis, 94 with Marshall Faulk, 95 had Curtis Martin, and 96 had Marvin Harrison, among others. But those ones just kind of stick out to me. A lot of guys that I kind of started having on my fantasy football teams when I started playing back in the very early 2000s. Anyways, a little bit of insight into what I collect. But I've sent multiples of all of these, and it's been a while, and card grading prices have been so high for a long time, and with the $15 special, I'm like, why not? So that was a long-winded way of introducing the 96 SP Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison is actually a pretty big PC player for me. He graduated from Syracuse. I love collecting Syracuse players. And the fact that he's in the Hall, I love Marvin Harrison. And this is one of his better rookie cards. I've also got a couple of refractors of him stashed away, but love the base SP. This one's sharp. The SPs and the foil edges are just so hard. I think I said 9. Yeah, I just kind of just hoping for a nice 9. If it's better, that'd be fantastic, but they're so hard. So I have an optimistic 9 on that one. 94 SP Marshall Faulk. I think I've had a couple of 9s on this card in the past, and I am hoping for another one. So I got 9 on the SP Marshall Faulk, and there's the Bettis. So out of the ones that I listed, I don't have any Curtis Martin on me. But the hardest of the 3 that we've seen so far is definitely the Bettis. And the flecking off the edges of this card is just so hard to find one that doesn't have it. And so this one, I believe, is gorgeous. And another optimistic 9. To date, I have yet to actually send in a Warren Moon rookie card. 1985 tops with the black border are just so difficult. But this one is fantastic. It's pretty nicely centered. It wouldn't gem with the center. I think it's got kind of left to right, a little bit off. I think top to bottom a little bit better, but I think it's a smidge off center. But it is one of the cleanest in terms of the edges and corners that I've ever had. and I think I'm still only put an 8 on this one. This is probably going to be a PC card. Again, as the Hall of Famers do, I've got to at least have one, and I don't have a graded moon yet, so I will soon. This card is possibly the nicest one I think that I'm personally sending in today. No, it's not. That'll come later. But this is a really nice one, and it's a 1977 Walter Payton. Walter's rookie cards have just absolutely skyrocketed in the past couple of years, and they have not seemed to come down at all. And so I have become less and less optimistic that I'll be able to grab one. I should have spent some money 5 years ago and picked one up, and I did not. But this will be the oldest Walter that I've got, his second year. And this card is very sharp. Now, I can't remember if I took a picture of, I think I did. So you'll be able to see that there was a wax stain. Actually, it was pretty sizable across the front of him. Buffed out, super easy. It is off-centered, which is the main issue with this card. If it was centered, it would be an 8.85 type of grade in my mind. But because it is off-centered, I have put a 7.5. If it's more off-centered than SGC likes it, may be lower, but I've called a 7.5 on a second-year Walter. Pretty much no matter what it comes back, that's going into my PC. I do have kind of a Peyton slab run that I'm working on. A couple newer cards from me, and this is a shady blue refractor from Topps Chrome. I think it was an insert plus a refractor. But I called a 9 on this one. I'm trying to remember exactly why I did. Oh, I think it has maybe some very, very light print or refractor lines on that one. So it is stunningly centered and sharp. Surface, I think, puts this one at a 9. This card right here is one I'm definitely sending into flip. It is a black refractor Topps Chrome Tyler Eifert rookie card. It's numbered out of 299. Let's see if we can get that. There we go. Another just absolutely, like, this card looks perfect to the naked eye, and so I put a 9.5 on it. Again, I just personally don't have good luck gemming these things, but that one I'm going to say a 9.5, and hopefully it will be for sale. Another Lamar Jackson. Again, this is his base Prism. I've been holding on to this one for a long time. Probably will end up in the PC. I don't have a ton of the current quarterbacks in my collection. I've got a handful of Mahomes. I got a handful of Jackson. That's about it. I normally collect older stuff. But base Prism Lamar, as long as he stays healthy, he's just going to be, one of the main guys of his generation. So on that one though, I did say a 9. I think it may have a little bit of centering and maybe one little corner fleck. Again, I don't look at it under magnification. Trying to be conservative, I say that one's going to be a 9. And then there's this one, Jared Goff. I believe I pulled this myself, and I've been holding on to it for a long time. He, when the Rams almost won the Super Bowl, I was like, that's kind of when I started holding. And then he went downhill and then got traded, and so this card never got sent in. But then he started to really bounce back in Detroit, and I'm hopeful that he just kind of continues to grow there and kind of become one of the top guys again. And so this is about as speculative as you'll ever witness me being. Spending $15 to grade a red yellow Prism that I think will be a 9.5 or better. That right there is the football, 29 cards, so I will move these out of the way really quick, and then we will get the last 14. So again, that is a separate order. Now I'm going to box these up together. I'm going to make sure they're wrapped separately, but to save a few bucks shipping, that one is going to go in a box first. This is going with it, and these are, we'll start with a Connor McDavid Jumbo Matte Relic, thick card. I think it has corner issues, so I say an 8 on that one. Then a couple of non-sports from his collection, my buddy's collection, and it's the 1990 Impel Marvel Superheroes or something like that, and this Wolverine, and I'm pretty sure I got some pictures, has a corner issue. So I believe that's going to end up being a 6.5. Like if you look at it like this, it looks like a 9, but I do believe that corner issue is going to make that a 6.5. And then we've got the Amazing Spider-Man from the same set that I think has a worse corner, and I think it's going to be a 6. Then with the controversial popularity of the She-Hulk series that just kind of recently buttoned up. There she is. This one has a small corner issue, so I've got this one at 8.5, but the She-Hulk is actually the best looking card of those three. And then we've got two nearly identical Ja Morants with the Young Dolph in the background, the ultra popular, little bit infamous card right there. Again, these two are virtually identical, and I said 9.5 on both of them. Then there is a 2022 LeBron James Silver Ice, I believe. Is that a Silver Ice? Ice Prism, sorry. Ice Prism, and I couldn't see any issues with that one, and so I pegged that at 9.5 or better. His card, he does more modern collecting than I do, and I think he pack pulls a bunch of this stuff, and so he does tend to have a pretty decent eye on like the really recent stuff, and that would include pretty nice 2019 Joker Gold Wave Prism. I believe this one is, just in time. They actually won. Gosh, when did they win? I mean, it's this week that it was. So, depending on whenever this video makes it out there, this week is when they actually won the championship. So he probably sent that in preparation for that. But that's a sharp Joker. Then there is a Bowman First Wander paper from 2019 that I could not see any issues with, and I said 9.5 or better on that one. Followed by a one that I did see some issues on, and I'm pretty sure I got a picture to prove it. But this is a 2019 Topps Chrome X-Fractor Vlad Jr., and it's got some what I believe are surface print issues. And so on the Vlad, I said an 8.5. We will see if SGC catches them and or agrees with them. And then I kind of said this in the last video, but I'm kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel of what I want to send in. I have a ton of PC cards that are gradable, but I have a finite budget. And some also popped up this week, so I am not sending in as many cards as I'd really like to. A bunch of the football, but I did grab a couple other ones. And Tony Parker, recently inducted into the Hall of Fame. Here in San Antonio, he is fairly well loved. And this one will most likely go into the PC. Even if it gems, it's not a super valuable card. But it's his Upper Deck rookie. And it is sharp, and so I did say 9.5 on that one. Then I've got one. This is one of the best looking sets in like all of cards. Proof that the 90s just hit different. But you've got the 96 EX2000 Jordan, and I'm slowly putting this set together Base, I can't afford the EX credentials. And it's going to be hard for me to get the Kobe rookie as well. But I do have the Jordan right here. And this is one that I figured it's just, I don't have a ton of Jordan slabs. And so I'm going to send this one in because it is just a quintessential 90s card. Not even an insert. It's a base card, but it's such a cool set. Now this one does have, like, in the clear film, like a bubble or something on there. And so at best, I believe this is going to get an 8.5, but it is a Jordan. It's gorgeous. I'm making this set, and so that'll be a PC card for me. Next one, I believe this is probably the nicest card in there, but this is a 1963 Jello. It is not the post, like many of you may have just exclaimed in your head, but this is the Jello. And if you, to know the difference, they're slightly smaller, but the easiest way is to actually look at the red line. Now, I may or may not be able to get a picture up to do a comparo. You know what? I actually will. There it is. But the red line cuts off much shorter. So if you're just looking at one, you can tell that that's a Jello versus a post. Together, it's easier to see. Now, all of that blabbering, and this card, I have never sent in one of the old hand cut ones. Last sub or 2 subs ago, I sent in a 33 Gaudi, if you remember that one, and I was, it was an A or a 1 type of range. It had like paper on the back. Came back a 1, sold it. It's pretty cool. But I've never done like the post ones. I think that this one does have enough border. So we might get lucky and actually get a numerical grade. That being said, I think if it doesn't get a numerical grade, it'll be an A. If it does, I think it'll be a 3.5. But this one, a mantle, even authentic, I figured it was it's safe to do. So that one we'll say an A or a 3.5. And then the last card, I said, why not? Let's go ahead and send in AI. That's his Topps base rookie card, Hall of Famer. I think this guy's like the best athlete, never to have won a championship, but famously took a bunch of not stars, to the finals. Just an absolute beast. I think he kind of reminds me of today, like Jimmy Butler. Them having just lost to the Nuggets, but Jimmy just freaking carrying the team. Kind of like AI did. Very different players, Jimmy and AI, I think, but just kind of a similar feel to the story in terms of just getting to the championship series, not having expected it. That being said, that's his rookie card. He's a Hall of Famer, so there'll be a place for it. If it gemmed, I might consider selling it, but I think it's going to get a 9 and most likely reside in my PC. And that is 29 plus 14 cards. I'm about to package them up very quickly. I need to do that really quickly because I got to go get my kids from school. Actually, summer camp. But there they are. I'm going to send them off, and we will do a separate reveal vid in the future to see how I did. Let me know what you think about me doing this in the comments. I appreciate that, and we will see you on the next one.